and good morning. Sunday, December 22nd, 2024. We're getting close to Christmas. The Chiefs and Texans got started. On Saturday, a Patrick Mahomes play after the first drive with an ankle injury or not. Mahomes was coming out. And on Texans' first drive, C.J. Stroud would throw an interception. Chiefs would respond with a touchdown. On a 3rd and 13, Mahomes got a scramble for 12. And a 4th and 1, Chiefs returning player from injury, Hollywood Brown, got in his first action. Marquise Brown. That gain was a gain of 12 for Patrick Mahomes. For Hollywood, it was 2 yards. The gain was good enough for a first down. And on a 2nd and 8, Mahomes ran, ankle injury or not, ran right up the middle and blew down a defender in the end zone. Touchdown, Patrick Mahomes, 7-0. The Texans would get it down to the 15, but no touchdown, but a field goal, 7-3. The Chiefs would go 3 and out. On a punt by the Chiefs, the Texans would get a 3rd down conversion in 6, Xavier Hutchins, a 3rd down and 13, a 10-yard pass, Dalton Schultz made it 10-7 as the Texans completed 2 big 3rd downs. Chiefs would match it with a Travis Kelce jump on 3rd and 6 for a 14-yard conversion, and then Kareem Hunt would get it in for the Chiefs to take the lead 14-10. Another INT thrown by C.J. Stroud, and field goal 17-10. Those 2 interceptions would pay dearly. The Texans would match it with a touchdown of their own. And on that play, Robert Woods had a big play, and then on a 2nd and 7, that was for 17 on the Robert Woods play, and then on a 2nd and 7 from the 30, Tank Dell would catch it in the end. Tank Dell would extend his arms to catch a touchdown, but then his knee would buckle. And on that play, they brought up the first cart to get him off the field, but the first cart didn't work. That meant that it wasn't a good injury. The second cart did work, and he was headed to KU Medical Center and has not been released yet as of Saturday night. It was 17-16. The Chiefs make it 24-16 on a touchdown to Xavier Worthy, who made it in for an 8-yard touchdown. That play was good after a 10-play drive. The Texans would match it with a field goal to make it 24-19. A field goal by Butker to make it 27-19. A 3 plays and out, where the Texans lost 13 yards, on one of them being a sack. It was 4th and 23. That pass was incomplete. On 3rd and 11, it was Pat. C.J. Stroud lost 12 yards. Joshua Williams made a tackle. On 4th and 23, the Texans would decide to punt, and the Chiefs would run out the clock with 7 plays and a 3:41. A big conversion on 3rd and 4 with Samaje Perine for 16 yards. He slid down there. Kareem Hunt got another one where he slid down all the way down to the Texans 20, and that ended the game probably to 27-19. Chiefs over Texans. That's Chiefs football. Ravens get past the Steelers, which means the Ravens will still be playing for their spot in the playoffs. And now the Ravens in both 10-5. The Steelers will obviously play the Chiefs next, but in today's game, the Ravens came away with the victory, 34-17. A first touchdown by Isaiah Likely, 7-0 after the Steelers punted on the first drive. Was the Ravens punting. The Steelers punting and a touchdown by the Ravens. 6 plays and 41 yards. A 9-yard Isaiah Likely run-in. A touchdown match by the Steelers to put it in from the 1 to even it up at 7 apiece at the end of the first quarter. Would match the touchdown by the Steelers. The Ravens would punt. A fumble by the Steelers, which would pay dividend. And a touchdown by the Ravens, a 3 plays and out. A field goal by the Ravens made it 17-7, but the field goal would make it 10-17. Steelers 17-10. Field goal at half by the Steelers. 17-10 Ravens lead. A punt and a punt. A touchdown to even it at 17. Then a 6-play drive. Touchdown Steelers from the 7. Lamar Jackson to a Mark Andrews touchdown. It's 24-17. A turnover on downs, but the Ravens would come back with an interception. The Steelers got the ball off a turnover. Another turnover was thrown right back to the Ravens. Touchdown on the interception. 37-yard run back. A punt and a field goal by the Ravens would promptly end the game. After a Steelers punt, they didn't have enough. They were too far, 4th and 13, and the Ravens would end it on 3 plays to end the game 34-17. Ravens win. That's NFL football for Saturday. Now we move on to Sunday football and wrap it all up with college football. Eagles will play the Commanders in the game of the day. Eagles, Commanders, quarterbacks Jaden Daniels is who's going to watch out for. Runner-up for the Rookie of the Year, Brian Roberts Jr. and Terry McLean on wide receiver, and defensive player to watch out for, cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. For the Eagles, it's quarterback Jalen Hurts, one of my favorite quarterbacks besides Patrick Mahomes, one of the most underrated quarterbacks. Cam Newton saying there's no NFC player that can overtake the game. Well, I'll take Jalen Hurts and I'll take Saquon Barkley, who's threatening for the all-time rushing record. Wide receiver A.J. Brown is out. You look on Devontae Smith. Defensive player for the Eagles to watch out for is Jalen Carter. Without legal trouble, he would have been the first overall pick. Josh Sweat is a player to watch out for, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Eagles by 3.5. Give me the Eagles 30-24. I know I picked the Packers to make the Super Bowl, and that slim chance is still alive, but I've got them taking the Eagles right now for the Super Bowl. They kick at noon. Eagles and Commanders. Giants and Falcons. Michael Penix will get the start over Kirk Cousins, who once again is showing why he's an overpaid quarterback. Michael Penix will get the start of the quarterback. We said he'll be the future combo quarterback the next couple of years. Or Bajai Robinson, who has over 1,100 yards. And Drake London is a wide receiver player to watch out for. And defense for the Falcons, Grady Jarrett and A.J. Tell. Players to watch out for the Falcons. Also, Jesse Bates is a player to watch out for on the Falcons defense. The Falcons do it up pretty good on the defense. Former Missouri Tiger Drew Lock with the start. Yes, he had to throw in a touchdown. He is former Missouri Tiger. Tyron Tracy, who hasn't done a good job of taking over for Saquon. Wide receiver Malik Neighbors, who is the best Giants player in his first season. Dexter Lawrence will be the defensive player to watch out for. The Giants are 2-12. Meanwhile, the Falcons are 7-7 and hope for a Buccaneers loss. The Falcons hold on. 20-13 in my score. The Falcons are favored by 9.5. The Cardinals hope to stay in the playoff picture right now. They go to Carolina Panthers. Let's look at the Panthers players to watch out for, even though this is not a great game. Cardinals still in the playoff race. Quarterback Bryce Young, who has been playing better. Running back Chuba Hubbard. Wide receiver Xavier Legette. Xavier Woods is the Panthers player to watch out for. He leads the Panthers in interceptions. Quarterback Kyle Murray. Running back James McBride. Tight end Trey McBride is a player to watch out for. James Conner, running back. Defense Jalen Thompson. Cardinals are favored by 4.5. Kick is at 12, giving the Cardinals 23-17. Browns and Bengals, we don't need to preview that really, but the Bengals still have a chance of 10% of going to the playoffs. According to ESPN, or according to New York Times and ESPN, if they win, we'll talk more about them. They play the Browns, which is something worth mentioning. No Jameson Winston at quarterback. Starting is Daron Thompson after he turned over the ball too much against the Chiefs. Kick is at noon. Titans and Colts. The Colts still have a shot at the playoffs. Let's look at their players to watch out for. Anthony Richardson, running back Jonathan Taylor does not have what he used to have, but still over 900 yards. Alec Pierce, he is out, which means veteran Michael Pittman Jr. is a player to watch out for in the receiving corps for the Colts. DeForest Buckner hasn't played all games. He has 6.5 sacks. He's a player to watch out for. The Titans quarterback Will Levis, running back Tony Pollard, he is questionable. And if he doesn't play, he'll be on to Chonjay Spears. Wide receiver Calvin Ridley, defensive player Jeffrey Simmons, defensive tackle. Colts must win to stay in the playoff conversations. Colts are favored by 3.5. Give me the Colts 27-20. The Lions and Bears will play. The Lions got a victory over the Bears earlier in Thanksgiving, and Caleb Williams couldn't make the time out call with 30 seconds and opted not to use it, in which would get Matt Eberflus fired. Let's look out for the host team, the Bears, first as we look at Caleb Williams. Now we look at running back DeAndre Swift, wide receiver DJ Moore, and defensive player Montez Sweat. For the Lions, there's a lot of injuries on their team, 22, which easily leads the league, which may not matter against the Bears. It matters in other games. Let's look at the Lions, though. Quarterback Jared Goff, running back Josh Gibbs, wide receiver Maine St. Brown, who has remained not a distraction, as he does not complain, but he is still a great receiver. Has over 1,100 yards. Defensive player Brian Branch is questionable, so we look at Zadarius Smith, who's a player to watch out for as well on the Lions defense. The Vikings will play the 3 o'clock game. Sam Darnold will play Seahawks. Sam Darnold is a player to watch out for because J.J. McCarthy is a backup quarterback for the Vikings. I think it would take him a chance to make it to the NFC Championship game, even though Sam Darnold may be comeback player of the year. If they make it to the NFC Championship, like we said, J.J. McCarthy may return to if they don't make it to the NFC Championship. But if they do make it to an NFC Championship, we may have to have a different conversation come January or February. Running back Aaron Jones, the best receiver in the game, Justin Jefferson, I think. But the next text to him, Jamar Chase leads the Bengals in the NFL in receiving. Back to the Vikings, though. Defensive player out for the to watch out for the Vikings, Jonathan Greenyard. Seahawks, Geno Smith, who has had a down year this year. Kenneth Walker, running back. Jackson Smith and Jabu, running receiver. Defensive player Devin Witherspoon. Kick is at 3:05 today. Jaguars and Raiders, we don't need to preview that. Dolphins and 49ers, no need to preview that. Both of those games after 4 o'clock. On the Bills and Patriots game, Bills at 11-3. New England 3-11. It's the Chiefs. It's the slimmest chance happens. The Bills lose to the Patriots. It would put the Chiefs in the number 1 seed and it'd wrap it all up. But that's likely not going to happen. Players to watch out for: Josh Allen, James Cook, Kaius Shakir. The player to watch out for on the Bills receiving corps: Drake May. Player to watch out for on the defensive side for the Bills: player to watch out for, Greg Rosen. And for the Patriots, it's Drake May, quarterback, Rashard Stevenson, running back, and Hunter Henry, tight end. And the best defensive player on the path is Devon Goddux. That's the Patriots' best defensive player. Game time is at 3:25 from Buffalo. Tyreek Hill, though, didn't mention he wants to be out in Miami. Tua Tagovailoa, a better arm than Mahomes. What now, Tyreek Hill? Buccaneers and Cowboys will finish it off on Sunday night. The Buccaneers are battling for an NFC South spot. Buccaneers control their own destiny with an 86% chance of making the playoffs, according to the New York Times. Players to watch out for the Buccaneers: Baker Mayfield, quarterback; running back Bruce Irving, who is questionable. Otherwise, it's on to Rashid Wright starting. If not, then Mike Evans is a wide receiver to watch out for. He's been out for a couple games this year. Defensive player Vita Veo is the player to watch out for, as he is a Pro Bowl voter at defensive lineman. For the Cowboys, it's Cooper Rush and Rico Daniel at the running back, CeeDee Lamb at the wide receiver, defensive player Mike Parsons. The Cowboys are 3-1 in their last 4, as they talk about keeping Mike McCarthy. This one will be up against a playoff team. That game begins Sunday night at 7:20. That's Sam on Sports.